Okay, let's review our lesson from yesterday. We've been talking about animal development and gametogenesis and organogenesis. So we've been talking about human development and how they create gametes through a process we call gametogenesis. So Watley, can you tell me what the word gametes means?
Sex cells.
Very good. And can you tell me what sex cells are, Lexi?
Sperm and egg.
Very good. So if I were to tell you that the word somatic cells are cells in the human body that are everything except for sperm and egg, and if I were to tell you that they contain 46 chromosomes, and I told you that gametes contain half of that in chromosome number, could you tell me how many chromosomes a gamete contains?
23.
Very good. And so if a human gamete contains 23 chromosomes, when sperm and egg fuse together in a process called fertilization, they would then contain the perfect number to create a new life form or a new human baby. So we call this process fertilization, and a new organism forms. This process is the same in all animals, and we call this process of fertilization and gametogenesis. We call this animal development and reproduction. So do you guys remember, according to your reading last night, that this is the same process also for plants? So even though it doesn't seem likely that plants would reproduce using sperm and egg, they do. So after fertilization, you have what we call a zygote. So Watley, can you tell me a little bit about stem cells?
Stem cells aren't specialized yet.
Very good. And so if stem cells aren't specialized yet, what is special about that? Lexi.
They're used for different things.
Yes, so technically a scientist could use them in many different ways or can program them to do many different things for science. So we can theoretically turn them into any type of cell that we want to. So after the stem cell stage, we go through a process called gastrulation, and then we go through organogenesis. So using our root word, we can use the term organ or organogenesis. We can figure out that that is when the organs begin to form. So first you have nerve or nervous tissue form, and then you have the heart start to beat. So around 4 weeks gestation, the baby will get a heartbeat. Now, if it's a human, that is a human baby. But if we're talking about a dog, it would be a puppy. A cat would be a kitten, just depending on what type of animal we're talking about. This would include other types of animals. So a baby would be inside the mother's womb, but there are some animals that don't develop in a womb. So Watley, can you tell me about an animal that would not develop in a womb?
Like a bird.
A bird, yes. It would develop inside of an egg. Can you think of anything else?
Chicken.
A chicken, yes. It would develop inside of an egg. So instead of getting nutrients from the mother, it would get nutrients from the egg. So can you take a guess where it would get the nutrients from inside the egg? The yolk or the white?
The yolk.
The yolk, very good. And we can guess that because if you want to stay healthy and eat low calorie, you would only eat the egg white, right? And that's the same for the chicken. The chicken lives in the white part and eats off the yolk. So after organogenesis, then the baby would add on fat. So after all the organs form by week 12 gestation, then the baby would just continue to add on fat and grow larger. It would grow hair, and it would grow its facial features more prominent, and until week 40. And at week 40, then the baby would be born. So do you girls have any questions?
What about things like fungus?
Fungus, yes, fungus are fungi. They are living, and they do reproduce sexually, so that means they do use sperm and egg as well. However, they reproduce using things called spores, and the spores are in the air all around us. But they land on things like tabletops and on the floor. They also land on things like food. So if they land on things that they can feed off of, they will continue to grow. If they land on things they can't feed off of, they will just die. So if they land on bread, they can feed off bread, so they will grow. Do you have any other questions?
So they're in the air all around us, and we're breathing them in all the time.
Yes, we do breathe them in. However, our body can't use them, so we have mechanisms inside of our body to either destroy them or just push them back out.